This is going to be your guide to easily beating the Scadutree Avatar. So if you saw my Messmer guide, it's pretty much the same build. I actually practice on the Avatar before just taking out Messmer second try. The only difference is you don't need a Flame Drake Talisman, so whatever damage boosting charm you have works. Also, you can use like the Crimson Amber Medallion or the Erdtree Favor. Erdtree Favor is good if you don't have enough level for like a high equip load for like super tank builds, so you can just run that and be pretty solid. And the core of this build is the Ritual Shield Talisman. And one of the core things about the build that people didn't catch on to with the Messmer guide is that you run the Ritual Shield Talisman because it gives you 30% damage negation at max health. So you just tank the hit, and then you Blasphemous Blade, and then you go back to full, or like one potion, because you're not going to get knocked out of a potion range, and then you're just like constantly mitigating crazy amounts of damage. Also, you don't need only tank talismans. The Warrior Jar Shard or Alexander Shard is a must because it just gives you so much damage. Then whatever seal you have for Golden Vow. As for the armor, can kind of run whatever because the Bullgoat armor just gives you a ton of tankiness. However, Bleed is affected by robustness, so the Lionel Helm is better for the status effect coming off the Brambles. And the difference in damage negation is kind of whatever, so depending on your equip load, you can get away with the Lionel Helm, and that just worked out really well. Like, that was kind of the secret for Messmer and apparently this boss. As for levels, here you go. I had a lot of Scadutree Blessings and Revered Spirit Ashes, but just farm those. It's worth it, much like getting levels. People are saying, oh, you're level 250, so no wonder you beat Messmer super easily. Instead of getting clapped by a boss for over an hour, just use my rune farm and get 20 million runes and then hit level 250. Blasphemous Blade scales with Faith, so that's kind of it. Like, you get your Faith as high as you can, as long as you have the 60 on Vigor and whatever Endurance to keep in a medium equip load. If you're going Lionel armor, you don't need as much for the heavy Bullgoat armor, and you also are only using one sword, so you can keep your endurance a lot lower than this level 63. Also, I never got the talisman that boosts fire damage. It's not good against Messmer because it increases the fire damage you take, but here could also just be a plus. Now, getting here is kind of a mess because you have to go through the Morth Ruins to end up at Bonnie Village, then you loop around and that's going to take you to the church, but you have to drain the water before you can take the lift down, and then you take the passage, and then you can fight at the Scadutree base. I'll put something at the end of the video, but let's get into the fight to see how effective this build is. Now, there is one enemy that's been giving me some trouble, and that is the Scadutree Avatar. So let's see how I do against it now that we've gotten some sick upgrades. So what I found out about this dude is that, like, you just run underneath him, and then you can spam pretty well. Also, for my runes. And I think I actually want the Warrior Jar Shard because it makes like a crazy difference in damage. So I got rid of the big health charm because I was doing 1100 before, now I'm doing 1500. So whatever scaling is going on, it's more than just like the 10% it says you get from the Jar Shard, yet actually is the diff. And this is a good time to pot up. You can also line up an attack as it's coming out, and then that's just skill. You can't teach that. Wow. And it just got like mega doubled, and all we have to do is just not like be trash. Alright, so this fight is going much easier. I made it to phase 3 like once, kind of barely, but whatever's happening here is like the nuttiest damage. Oop. Ah, we got knocked out. Oh, is that bad to be around? Yeah. Oh, but it, like, knocks him out. Wow! The damage! What is happening? Why is my Mimic so powerful? Like, I only leveled it up to 7 and it's doing that. Please let that be. I was about to say, please let that be. Wow, that was too easy. Oh. Miquella's Great Rune. I mean, I expected that, but... The Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC has a lot of hidden areas you need to find and tricky puzzles to solve. So I wanted to make a video about getting to some of these secret areas so you don't have to waste 30 minutes finding them like I did, or a few hours like I've seen for a couple of YouTube comments. So yeah, let's talk about getting to Bonnie Village, where you need to find this little part in the Morth Ruins, and then you head down and you make your way through this cave. At the end, there's going to be a ladder, climb up, and it just pops you out in Bonnie Village. Now, it's also really funny because inside of one of the buildings, you can see a lot of people have tried and failed to make it down to this area you need to go. I succeeded somehow. Like, I bounced off of one of these rocks and it mitigated just enough fall damage. But no, the actual entrance is what I just showed. Now, once you make it to Bonnie Village, there's also something important you need to pick up. So you head over the broken bridge and then you go north. And then by this tree, we have the Oh Mother gesture. Then you just want to follow the path until you make it to the Church District High Road, because this is going to take you into the Church District. Now, when you first get here, it's going to be filled with water, and if you go into the water, you die, so you need to parkour across the rooftops. And there's one tricky part. Yes, the game actually wants you to parkour this. So you make it to the top of the building, you fall through the hole, you land on the beams, you fall through another hole, that's going to take you into a circular room that has fire warriors in it, and then you want to find the path that takes you to a lift. And then you head outside and you take this lift up. Then you head outside and you go up and to the left, and then there's going to be a lever you pull, and that drains all the water. Also, don't miss that jump. Or not a lever you pull, one of these things you turn. That's how you get access to the church. Past the area with the tree, you go into this room, you make a right at the big room, and then you head down here, and that's going to take you to the Scadutree base. Then you take the passage to the sanctum, and that's where the Scadutree Avatar is. Also in the building where you drop down through the roof, you can find an elevator to the storehouse loft. And now things get annoying. You have to take the lift up, and then you just keep running around through this area until you find a jumping off point. So if you go over the big cog, you've pretty much made it, and then you just want to safely make your way right here. And you just head down. Never mind, that wasn't as annoying as I thought it was, because the first time I was there, I actually missed the jump down point, and then I didn't go where I need to, but this takes you to the back gate. I honestly don't know how anyone's having a problem with Commander Gaius. Like, I just have him in the corner so he can't move too much, and I just spam him down with the Blasphemous Blade. And the reason why you want to do all that is to get to the Scadutree Chalice, which has 5 fragments. So you beat Gaius, and then you get a mega level up for your character. And then we have the secret area of the secret area of the secret area, because at the back passage in the room to the right, that's where we use the Oh Mother gesture. And that opens up a secret path to the other area on the map you haven't been to. I just got here, I don't know everything that's going on, but if you've wondered how to get to this big place on the map, there you go. Okay, so I just found the golden braid in that secret area I showed. There's some good things out there. Also, looking at the new talismans, I plan on upgrading this build even further. There's a really interesting item, Raise the Defense, with higher equipment load. We'll see how that goes. Also, I haven't beaten the big Mountain Dragon boss, and the Pearl Drake talisman stacks with the Flame Drake and Bolt Drake talisman, so like, do we just run those 3 and then something silly happens? So we're about to get even stronger and have some more fun. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with friends, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe, all of that big YouTube stuff. I hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.